Well, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India has released the latest data on the status of cases under the Bankruptcy Code. Ritu Singh joins us to fill us in with all those highlights. Hey Ritu, good day. Fill us in.
Well, Nigel, the latest data shows that less than 14% of the total cases that have been closed under IBC have actually ended up in resolutions, and in fact a large 57% did end up in liquidation. So in total, since the inception of IBC, 3,774 cases have been filed under the NCLT, of which about 1,600 cases have closed and the remaining are still ongoing in various stages of litigation across courts in the country. Of these, 221 cases have found resolution, 914 actually closed because of liquidation, 157 have been withdrawn under Section 12A, and the remaining 312 have been closed on appeal or settled. Now, there are two pillars to IBC. One is recovery through value maximization, of which, if you look at the data, overall the recovery has been 44%. For financial creditors alone, the recovery has been about 46%, with them recovering 1.84 lakh crores against the 4.13 lakh crores claims that they made in these 221 cases that have been resolved. Of the 12 large defaulters in RBI's first list, only 8 have found resolutions in which banks have recovered over 1.3 lakh crore rupees. But if you look at the time value of money and the time that has been taken by these cases, the maximum time allotted under the laws is 330 days. On an average, for the cases that have been closed and have found resolution, it took 375 days to conclude the cases. But for cases that were that faced liquidation proceedings, it took an average of 309 cases for things to conclude.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Ritu. Well, moving on then, in a relief to the hotels and restaurants industry, the Maharashtra Excise Department has allowed existing stock of foreign liquor with the industry to be liquidated. CNBC-TV18's Priya Seth has been going through the order, and she joins in with all those exclusive details. Priya.
Well, and what could be some positive news for the hotels and restaurants industry? We do understand that the Maharashtra State Excise Department has issued orders allowing FL3 license holders to sell foreign liquor. Now, at this point in time, this order is applicable only in certain parts of the state where there is no lockdown, and local authorities have permitted the sale of liquor. Now, there are several clauses as far as this order is concerned. One is, of course, they have permitted off-premise consumption of liquor, which means that the consumption of liquor cannot happen at the premises of the FL3 license holder. They've also stated that hotels and restaurants can liquidate only as much stock as they hold as of 24th March 2020, and they've said that as far as delivery options are concerned, consumers can either pick up this foreign liquor directly from the FL3 license holder premise, or they can seek a takeaway option where a hotel or restaurant can directly deliver to consumers. So we'll really have to wait and watch how this shapes up and whether or not the industry raises any concerns with regards to this order going forward.
All right, thanks so much for that, Priya. Well, moving on then, Cyclone Amphan, one of the biggest storms in over the Bay of Bengal in the last 20 years, is expected to make a landfall shortly. The cyclone's wind speed has picked up near the coast of Odisha. Here is a special report from News 18's Manoj Jeena.
देखिए, धीरे धीरे जितने करीब आ रही है सुपर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म अम्फन, उसका असर भी यहाँ काफ़ी दिखाई देने को मिलता है। कल रात से यहाँ भुवनेश्वर में बारिश शुरू हुई थी और अभी भी दिन भर बारिश चल रही है। हवा की रफ्तार भी बढ़ गई है। अभी तक करीब भुवनेश्वर में 60 से 75 बीच में हवा की रफ्तार चल रही है। देखिए, कुछ देर पहले यहाँ का IMD भुवनेश्वर की तरफ से बताया गया है कि सुपर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म अम्फन करीब 100 किलोमीटर दूर है कोस्ट से, और अभी नॉर्थ ईस्ट डायरेक्शन से बढ़ रही है, और अभी आफ्टरनून और शाम को बीच में वो लैंडफॉल करेगी। और उसको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए यहाँ का सरकार ने काफ़ी इंतजाम किए हैं। सरकार का मिशन ये है कि जीरो कैजुअल्टी, इसीलिए करीब अभी तक 1,20,000 से ज़्यादा लोगों को इवैक्यूएट किया गया है और लगभग इवैक्यूएशन प्रोसेस जारी है। देखिए, 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट अभी सरकार का फोकस में है। जगतसिंहपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, जगतसिंहपुर, केंद्रापड़ा, जाजपुर, बालेश्वर, भद्रक एंड मयूरभंज। और IMD का प्रेडिक्शन ये है कि उन 6 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ज़्यादा असर पड़ेगी, उसको मद्देनज़र रखते हैं कि सरकार ने 4 IAS एंड 4 IPS ऑफिसर को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सौंपा है। और देखिए जैसे जैसे समय बीतते जा रहे हैं असर भी दिखाई देने को मिलता है। अभी तक करीब 16 एनडीआरएफ टीम, 15 ओड्राफ टीम और करीब 200 से ज़्यादा फायर टीम डिप्लॉय हुए हैं। तो ओवरऑल ये बता सकते हैं कि सरकार ने काफ़ी इंतजाम किए हैं टू मीट अम्फन। भुवनेश्वर से कैमरामैन प्रशांत पत्र के साथ मनोज जैना, न्यूज़ 18।
Okay, all right. Well, I think we have Dr. Reddy's numbers that are flashing for you on the screen. I think the net profit should come up for you. We were working with a number of roughly around 480 crores approximately. It's coming at around 760 crores odd. So that's only the net profit number. Now we'll have to see whether or not it's an operational beat. To give you a few numbers, you know, what we were expecting on the top line, a growth of roughly around 5.5%, and the EBITDA number we're expecting is a growth of around 5.3% odd. Now the revenue number is up for you. That's looking a little bit better. That's a beat of close to around 190 crores. So good beat on the top line. Now that's positive. So that's one number that we are taking. We're waiting by for the EBITDA number as well. We were working with a number of around 928 crores approximately. So let's see what in fact that number has come in at. In terms of margins, it's expected to be more or less stable at around 22% odd. I think Ekta as well will be joining us very, very shortly, and we'll try to get in a reaction to that. But the EBITDA number, that as well has beat our estimates by close to around 7 to around 8%. So prima facie, looking at these numbers, on the top line, there's a beat of around 190 crores odd. On the EBITDA front, there's a beat of roughly around 75 crores odd. And the profitability as well is reflecting that. Ekta joins us. Ekta, tell us, you've had a closer look at the numbers. How were they?
Well, actually, it's looking quite good, Nigel, you know, in terms of the numbers, because like you mentioned, the Q4 revenue is coming higher than what we were anticipating. So it's up around 10% in terms of Q4 numbers. And the EBITDA has come in at around 1,001 odd crores, which is up around 14%. Remember that for them, EBITDA actually has been one of the key strong points, considering that they have been undertaking a lot of cost-cutting initiatives. Profit has come in at around 481 odd crores. I'd really like to see if there's any sort of exceptional. No, the profit before tax is 714 crores. But if we can just pull up the profit figure for you, so that will give us a sense in terms of what they've reported. But overall, it seems as though the margins are largely in line. We have the revenue, which is beaten estimates, and we do have the profit figure, which is also come in higher than anticipated. So maybe there is probably a one-off that we need to just account for or look at if in case that has come through this time round. But otherwise, remember that the stock itself has been a clear outperformer for the entire year. It's given returns of over 25 odd percent, because the US momentum has been actually fueled by the fact that there have been new launches, plus Suboxone has gained in terms of market share. And I just want to point out, you know, the geography growth, because their North America growth has seen a substantial gain of 21% on a year-on-year basis. So remember that North America is obviously the bulk of their business, and that has actually gained around 21% on a year-on-year basis, which is actually a fantastic performance, I would say. 40% of sales comes from there. Europe is up around 80% on a year-on-year basis. India is up 5%. India, the street was anticipating maybe 10%, but maybe there could have been that COVID-19 impact. And emerging markets up 15%. The PSCI segment, which is pharma services and active ingredients, is up around 6 odd percent this quarter. So that's also in single digits. But otherwise, I think the entire growth has actually been fueled by two markets. That's basically North America as well as Europe, which is up around 80 odd percent. Overall, I think it's a good set of numbers. The street is definitely going to take heart from the fact that North America has done so well.
Okay, all right. North America has done well geographically as well. It's done quite well. And as Ekta was saying, I think, you know, besides the good operational performance, just a couple of aspects should come up for you in terms of taxes. This time around, there's a small tax credit, you know, so we should get that up as well for you. There's a tax credit of around 50 crores approximately in this quarter. So that's what helped the net profit number look a little bit better. But as Ekta said, operationally it's a beat. The margins are a little bit better. There's a tax credit of around 50 crores approximately, and that compares with a tax expenditure of around 150 crores. That's why the net profit number is looking even better. But as Ekta said, top line beat, margin beat, geographically, things have grown, better or as much as expected. So a thumbs up for Dr. Reddy's. Well, I think on that note, we can wrap up on the show. You stay with us though. Midcap Radar will take all the action forward.